Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are finally going to validate your frustration with those absolutely terrifying rising water levels. We've literally all been there, right? You're standing in the bathroom watching the water line creep up, doing that desperate please stop dance, and just wondering what on earth went wrong. Well, today we're going to break down the true causes behind a constantly clogging toilet. We're looking far beyond the obvious suspects to understand exactly what your plumbing is trying to tell you. So let's dive right into this universal question that strikes mild panic in all of us when the flush just doesn't go as planned. A constantly clogging toilet is way more than just a daily annoyance. According to plumbing pros, it can actually signal a whole variety of hidden problems. Some are right there in the bowl, some are hidden in the trap, and some are buried deep within your home's unseen plumbing system. We always tend to immediately point the finger at the obvious culprit, but the reality? It's a lot more complex than that.
To get to the bottom of this, we're going on a quick diagnostic journey today. We'll start with the toilet paper myth, look at volume and plunging habits, uncover minerals and hidden hazards, zoom out to system-wide plumbing issues, and wrap up with exactly what you need to do next. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the toilet paper myth.
When faced with a clog, most of us instantly blame the toilet paper, right? But as it turns out, that is rarely the full story. There's this really fascinating insight straight from industry plumbers, and it totally reframes the issue. They confirm that in a lot of cases, modern toilet paper simply isn't inherently wrong. It's actually specifically designed to break down very quickly in water. As the experts point out, persistent clogs usually come from a mismatch. It's a conflict between what you're flushing and the actual behavioral physics of your plumbing over time. So it's not a material flaw, it's an environmental one.
Moving right along to Section 2, volume and plunging habits. So, if the paper itself isn't the primary enemy, well, we kind of have to look in the mirror. We need to look at how we're using that paper and, critically, what we do in those first few panicked seconds when things actually go wrong. The absolutely crucial point here is that volume matters immensely. Even if a paper is certified as flushable, dumping a massive amount of it into the bowl in a single flush can completely overwhelm the physical flow path of your toilet. Plus, those highly absorbent, thicker, sensitive skin varieties, they take considerably longer to disintegrate. Combine that with specific toilet designs or maybe lower water pressure, and you've got a recipe for a total blockage. The ultimate test is this. If your toilet clears easily on the first try when you simply use smaller amounts of paper, your issue is definitely volume and timing. For sure, not the material itself.
But what happens when a clog actually does form? Human nature kicks in, doesn't it? We start making some very specific, frantic mistakes. Sometimes clogs build gradually, and when the toilet fails to clear, our first instinct is to continuously reflush. This is a massive mistake. By reflushing, you are actively sending additional waste and paper into an already constrained area. And then comes the improper plunger use, what experts affectionately call the wake-up plunge. Come on, we've all done it. You grab the plunger, give it a few light, brief, panicked pumps, and it completely fails to create the essential hydraulic pressure you actually need to move a stubborn blockage. You're just agitating the water, you're not moving the clog.
And that brings us to the plumbing professional's absolute golden rule when it comes to plunging. The magic number is literally just 1. The correct protocol is to stop the second a clog is obvious. Do not hit that flush handle again. Allow the water levels in the bowl to completely stabilize. Once it's calm, you must execute exactly 1 proper, focused, and forceful plunger session. Stop the repeated, frantic, light attempts. Just 1 powerful push of pressure is exactly what the system demands.
Okay, let's dive into Section 3, minerals and hidden hazards.
Now we're traveling a bit further down. We're moving past the visible bowl and into the hidden elements of the toilet's anatomy to see what invisible forces might be slowly constricting your system over time. If you happen to live in an area with hard water, you really need to pay attention to this. Hard water leaves mineral deposits all along the toilet's inner surfaces, and especially deep inside the trapway. You know, that curved channel that waste passes through? Over time, these hard mineral deposits build up and literally narrow the passage. It creates this rough, sandpaper-like texture that catches debris that would otherwise easily slide right through. If you're noticing lingering water after flushing, or you find yourself needing to plunge way more often than you used to, these deposits might be secretly choking your toilet.
Beyond minerals, we're back to the human element again, foreign objects. There is a massive, fundamental difference between standard toilet paper and items that completely betray our plumbing. Basically, toilet paper dissolves. Foreign materials, even those aggressively marketed to us as water-friendly, often do not. They retain their strength in the water, creating an unbreakable net that just catches everything else passing by.
Let's get super specific about these hidden hazards. If clogs are happening repeatedly and you haven't changed your toilet paper routine, you have got to make sure absolutely none of these items are going down the drain. Flushable wipes are by far the most notorious offenders. I know, despite what the packaging says, they just do not dissolve like paper. Paper towels, feminine hygiene products, cotton swabs, dental floss, all major culprits. Even certain flushable coatings on toilet cleaning products can wreak absolute havoc. The rule of thumb is simple. Review your bathroom products and ensure absolutely nothing but toilet paper is being flushed. Period.
Which leads us to Section 4, System-Wide Plumbing Issues. Let's zoom out entirely from the bathroom for a second. We've looked at the paper, the bowl, the trap, but sometimes a clogged toilet isn't actually a toilet issue at all. It's a symptom of a much larger structural problem. When a clog seems to mysteriously return right after you swore it was cleared, the root cause might actually involve your home's entire drain line or vent stack. Your plumbing relies on air pressure to push waste down. Venting problems can severely alter this pressure, effectively suffocating the flow of waste. Alternatively, if there's a slow drainage issue way down in the main line of the house, it creates a massive traffic jam that eventually backs all the way up to your toilet. It mimics a toilet-specific clog perfectly, but the actual roadblock is yards away, somewhere under your floorboards.
So how do you actually know if you're dealing with a simple local clog or a total system-wide disaster? You've got to put on your plumbing detective hat and look for these systemic clues. Are other fixtures backing up when you flush? Like, does water suddenly come up in the shower when the toilet runs? Keep an ear out for distinct gurgling sounds coming from the pipes during a flush too. Or maybe you have multiple slow drains across the entire home, all at the exact same time. These are your definitive red flags that you've got a systemic issue far beyond just the ceramic bowl.
Finally, Section 5, What to do next.
Let's translate all of this fantastic diagnostic intelligence into a really practical, step-by-step checklist you can literally use in your own bathroom today. If you're facing the phantom clog, just follow these exact steps to troubleshoot. Step 1, check your volume. Confirm you're using typical toilet paper and consciously reduce the amount per flush, just to see if that solves the flow issue. Step 2, grab a brush and clean around the bowl jets and the rim where accessible. This helps clear out early mineral buildup. Step 3, if it clogs, remember the golden rule. Let it stabilize, then try exactly one proper, forceful plunge. And finally, Step 4, if the clogs stubbornly persist or you notice those systemic gurgling sounds or slow drains elsewhere, stop immediately. Do not keep plunging. Call a licensed plumber because you're dealing with deeper drainage issues that a change in toilet paper will just never solve.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought, really hoping it makes you completely rethink your relationship with your home's pipes. We get so incredibly annoyed at the toilet when it backs up, but what if it's actually doing you a favor? What if that phantom clog is simply an early warning sign, a messenger trying to tell you a larger story about the health of your entire house's plumbing system? Next time the water rises, don't just reach for the plunger in a blind panic. Take a step back, remember these invisible factors, and listen to what your house is actually trying to say. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy troubleshooting!